Hi, I'm Doug Keck, and this is an EWTN Bookmark Brief. Just had the pleasure of speaking with Bill Donohue of the Catholic League about his latest work, The Truth About Clergy Sexual Abuse, Clarifying the Facts and the Causes, published by Ignatius Press, available through our EWTN Religious Catalog, EWTNRC.com. So, Bill, tell us, why did you decide to read this book, and why should somebody want to read a book about clergy sexual abuse?
Well, my doctorate's in sociology. I've written many books, and on this particular topic here, I've been reporting on it, writing on it. I've been interviewed about it for over 2 decades, and I decided that the time has come to get rid of the myths. There are a lot of myths out of there that somehow we own this problem when we don't, and the myth that somehow this problem is still ongoing. It is not ongoing. It's mostly over, and people are almost afraid, even within the church, to mention that. I'm not asking for a victory lap, but we have to talk about the fact, and we have to get rid of the myth that somehow this was a pedophilia crisis. That's simply a lie. It's been a homosexual crisis, homosexual-driven from the very get-go, and that's why I wrote the book.
Now, one of the things you talk about in the book is the quote-unquote gay scene in the seminaries. What kind of impact did that have on the kind of priests we ended up with?
Well, some of those gays that were in the seminaries, particularly in the 1970s, were given books by Anthony Kosnick, another one by Crooks and Bauer, both of the same title, called Human Sexuality, where they basically said that every form of sexual expression is equal. Whether it's a man and woman in the institution of marriage having sex for the procreation of children, or 2 gays, or 3 people, or whatever. And my point is that if you're a normal guy, a seminarian, and you're hearing somebody say, go ahead and do whatever you want sexual in terms of your sexual expression, you're probably not going to go out and act on it. But what if you're already disordered, suffering from some type of condition, and you hear your professor, who could actually be a priest, saying that it's okay to open up on sexual expression? Why we should be shocked, and they go out, some of the guys who are disordered, that they act on their disorder. This should never have happened. The Catholic Church should have resisted the winds of the sexual revolution in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Instead, it succumbed to it. Now, we've made good progress since, but back then we paid the price.
Right. And you talk about McCarrick, you talk about Weakland. One of the things I was going to ask you about was the fact that you described the role of organized dissent. What do you mean organized dissent?
Well, we have organizations out there, all kinds of groups, the We Are Church groups and others, pushing for dissent in the Catholic Church. They're funded sometimes by George Soros, Catholics for Choice. The Hewlett Foundation funds them as well. They're trying to create an idea in the mind of the public that there are many legitimate ways to look at Catholic teachings. That may be true of some teachings, which of a minor level. It certainly isn't true when it comes to questions dealing with abortion, with life and death. The Catholic Church, there's no wiggle room on that. But the same is true of marriage. There's no wiggle room on that. When it comes to helping the poor, there's a difference of opinion as to what the best way to do that is. That's a little bit different. But when you come to the life and death issues, no, but they want to poison the mind, and they are organized, and they get media attention from the secular media, and they're well funded by the Warren Buffetts and others in our society.
And you point out in the book the fact that they were encouraged not to leave. I heard one time it was referred to as defecting in place.
Well, that's right. And let's not forget what the WikiLeaks that came out and said. This was by John Podesta, used to be the top guy running Hillary Clinton's campaign. They set up these dummy organizations, which I fought for years, Catholics United and Catholics in Alliance for the Common Good. This was part of the Catholic Spring, as they called it. They admitted in their emails, which we got through WikiLeaks documentation, that they wanted to create a parallel church, to set up the idea in the public that there are legitimate ways to disagree with the Catholic Church. The bishops don't have, and the magisterium don't speak for everybody. This was done to create a revolution within the Catholic Church. And this is not a matter of opinion. It's all documented in my book.
Absolutely, and people should check it up. This is an EWTN Bookmark Brief. Bill Donohue is the author, The Truth About Clergy Sexual Abuse, Clarifying the Facts and the Causes, and he does, published by Ignatius Press, available through our catalog. Look for the entire interview on demand and on our YouTube channel, and also coming soon on the network. I'm Doug Keck. This has been an EWTN Bookmark Brief. I encourage you to check this book out. See you next time.